Alright, so welcome everybody, this is gonna be game number 5 in a best of 5. In between WWP, a Chinese team, versus Suomi, we're gonna have, on the southern part of the map, WWP Lix is playing yellow flanks. The yellow flank as Saracens, other flank is going to be team as Portuguese in blue. We got Turks, Pocket for Vivi in green, and Khmer for Mr. Yo in red. We got the forward eagle coming in here for Rubenstock, who is playing Incas. Slavs for Viles. We got Persian Pocket for Max, and the final flank is going to be Tatar's Zupi. So this is an interesting matchup, and honestly, I love the Portuguese from team here. Portuguese is a very underrated flank civilization nowadays. There's many massive benefits to that. First of all, the free cartography helps immensely at coordinating the team's moves, but it's also cheaper gold units is immensely helpful, and you are also getting... where is that? Technology research 30% faster. In fact, the combination of this makes Portuguese a very good flank civilization in team games. I got a scout war over here in between Viles and Lix. Lix should be winning that one, but look at that, that's actually teamwork. Viles is dragging away the scout of Lix, so Lix cannot see the lame that is coming in from Rubenstock. Ruben trying to lame. The reason why you lame with the eagle is because you can actually heal that up inside your TC, and it looks like we are gonna have a successful lame here. And considering that Saracen's early game eco is already quite weak, losing a boar like that is a disaster for Lix, I would say. That is a nice lame over there. Let's see, we also have a lame attempt here. It was Mr. Yo trying to lame Zupi, but that was unsuccessful thanks to the intervention of Max over here on the other side. Two sheep are being lamed away from Max's base though by Tim. What else do we have? Do we have Viles over here? That's not something that matters that much for now. He has the second board at the back, so he's going to be fine. And yeah, other than that, it's very peaceful. So what's the plan with VVS Turks? In the games that he played Pocket, he played like Conquistadors with Spanish, and then, well, before that, Burmese Arambai. What's the plan with Turks? Like, Turks can be strong as a cavalry civ. If you take a look at their cavalry line, they have Cavalier, they have Bloodlines, they have Husbandry, they have full upgrades on those. And their light cavs are insanely good in terms of, like, just killing with archers, especially Feudal Age. Like, Feudal Age and, like, even early castle with the light cav, that can be great from Turks. But I don't know how they are going to be looking like as a late game cavalry civ. You might see a switch it to camels. It's definitely an interesting decision from VV, so we'll see how he plays this. Yeah, it was Turks. You didn't know that Turks have very good cavalry here. It's surprising, but yeah, Turks have a pretty much fully upgraded cavalry, right? Anyways, we got Tim coming up here with Vols. We're gonna have, what is a Drush from Zupi. On the other side, Zupi and Max might actually end up team walling with each other. Could he play Cav Archers? Not from the Pocket, I would say, and not when your other teammate is Saracens. Because your Saracens can only play Camels. And that's not good. Like, Saracen, Camels, and Cav Archers isn't a combo that you love. Turkish Cav Archers are amazing. Like, Turkish CA with Sipahis is potentially even the best CA, or at least very close to being the best with Sipahis. The problem is that, as I said, if you had a player on the flank that has like very good late game cavalry, like, I don't know, per se, having a Spanish flank that goes tower rush and then goes into knights later on, that's fine, because then the Spanish flank can actually play cavalry. But here the Saracen player only has camels. In Imperial they don't even have cavaliers, so you might be very low in terms of heavy cavalry. That's the problem. So yeah, like, your light cav is gonna be insane as Turks, but your heavy cavalry is going to be problematic, and I don't know if that's going to be enough. Like, having insanely good light cav doesn't compensate for not having Paladin. That being said, you can still go for Cavalier, as I said. So they have very good Cavalier overall. But once we get to Paladin, that could be problematic. And oh boy, Ruben Stock, he was probably like, oh yeah, I played Standard in the previous games, I want to play my game, and he's coming in here with an Inca wheel rush over here, 7 wheels coming in. So he's gonna try and take out Lix, who is just going up the fuel edge, getting barracks up. Lix apparently is just gonna go straight archers, or at least that was his plan, which is a little bit ambitious against Ruben Stock, who is pretty much known for going for a wheel rush here, and those are bye-bye to the berries, bye-bye to the gold mine, and the tower is gonna come up on the wood line. Remember, Lix is not up yet, so he cannot start making his tower right now, and he's gonna have to drop that archer range at the back. Let's see what the help is going to be looking like from Vivi. Indeed, he's opening up with scouts, no surprise about that. Over there, the rush from Zupi isn't achieving much for the time being. And, well, it looks like Lix is gonna have to evacuate the only reasonable wood line that he has had. Apparently, ever since Lix tried to do a lame on Ruben Stock's sheep and Ruben Stock's hunt in game number 2, Lix has been being pretty much destroyed by Ruben Stock. Like, I guess Ruben Stock really wants to show, okay, you wanna play aggressive strats? Let's see how you can do this. So yeah, what is Yo up to? Yo is making scouts right now. Scouts are also coming in here from Vivi. And, well, the tower is already walled in. Archers coming in, and I love this tower. This is a beautiful tower from Ruben Stock. Why is this tower good? It's because the archers that are popping out, they will be immediately damaged or even killed by this tower. And this helps to support the villagers at just, you know, taking these archer ranges down. This villager might be locked on the outside. Scouts are coming in. But, yeah, Ruben Stock needs a palisade wall over there. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's even better for Ruben Stock. And now he just needs to repair this one, jump into the tower. In the meanwhile, there is support coming in here from Vilas. And that's beautiful. They can pick off these individual straggler archers that don't even have fletching. There is no spearman to support. And that's 2 archers going down, which is helpful for Ruben Stock, whose plan is to just go and take down these archer ranges. He could do that. What if he deletes the archer range? It's worth it. Like, at this point, if you force your opponent to delete the range, that's already a huge, huge value. Because you trade a tower to an archer range, that's like a dream. Anyways, other side also has some minor fighting, but it's pretty much just wars and boom, the real thing is actually happening here.
Can't wait for leader to come hung in the ears.
Majestic Apex, thank you so much for the 5 months of support as well. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your sub as well. So anyways, if this tower goes up, there is some scouts from Vilas that are trying to harass Lix's wood line. This tower isn't that super bad, but there is another tower coming in here. And Inca villagers will have free pierce armor. These archers do not have fletching, so they're barely scratching those. And Lix is pretty much getting bullied here. Max is now coming in with the scouts. This is all about just kill Lix. And remember that in game number 4, the same scenario was there. Just kill Lix. He was killed so much. In that game, he was the one that was trying to villager rush. That didn't work out. So he was dead. In this case, it's the same thing. They just want to like double layer wall and go for one player. Pretty much 4v1 here. Or at least it's 3v1 because Zupi isn't here. Zupi instead is going for cavalry archers. And, well, he's gonna open crossbows, but I think he might actually end up going cav archers. Because Tatars don't have arbalest, so you have to go for CA. Anyways, it looks like, look at this. Ruben Stock is just going to wall in all the archers, and this is what I was talking about. Getting some towers up in your opponent's archer ranges means that the archers that pop out already start with a lot of HP lost. So, for now, Lix has enough stone, or at least he's gonna be able to mine stone. Ruben Stock doing Ruben Stock things, just stone walling in that gold mine. And we do have a push coming in into the face of Max, who hasn't clicked up yet though. First to Castle Age is going to be Zupi, who went for a Drush FC. It's Rush FC crossbows, but eventually it will be Cav archers. At some point, Rubenstock is also trying to push the pocket here, so he's trying to take down 2 players. VV, that tower is gonna go up, I think. Unless Rubenstock focuses down these Voyagers, but yeah, the tower goes up. However, that's already idle time for VV, and Rubenstock can just go and get to this wood line. That's a lot of scouts from VV, though. Does have no upgrades, basically. Spearman should be able to keep those Voyagers alive. These towers aren't walled in, which is not perfect from Rubenstock right now, but it's going to be fine for time being. And here come quite a lot of scouts from Vilest. He does have a +1 defense and bloodlines as well, which means that he's gonna be able to potentially take this fight even against the Spearman. He can jump those Spearmen and then go for the archers, and that would be the end of Lix here. Wasn't the best ever fight for Vilest, but it's the type of worth it type of a fight. He's gonna get a good surround on the archers. Majority of the archers will go down, and what's even better is that Vilest can just go for this stone mine now and still get 4 scouts with +1/+1 and bloodlines on those. VV also getting his face destroyed by Rubenstock here. Towers up on the wood line. Rubenstock is being so disruptive over here. He's like, we have been talking about how good Lix was in 2v2 World Cup in terms of being disruptive. You can see how Rubenstock can be very disruptive in this game as well. This is insane. And now, Rubenstock might proceed to try and tower these farms as well, although he might just say, okay, I did enough damage, pretty much made 2 archer ranges completely useless, and also denied this gold mine, denied this stone, the other gold mine is also out, so at this point, Lix is kind of forced to sell stone to get any kind of gold income for himself. With Saracens, that's not really a big deal, but at this point, there is more value in just trying to finish off VV, who is also going to have trouble getting gold if he runs out of that gold mine. Meanwhile, right side, we'll have crossbows coming in here from Zupi. Free Tumbling is already in, so he's going to pick off 1 wheel, 2 wheels. Yeah, there's a second wheel killed, so 2 wood lines idles already. Max is coming in with the scouts. Tim Stonewall as usual, no surprise about that one. Yo has been silent for quite a while, and one thing we didn't notice is this slaughter. Vilas is getting overrun. They just broke into his base, and as dead as Lix is, we might see Vilas being even more dead, because this is like Omega dead right now. No chance to save any Voyagers, and he is up to Castle Age. That's his only hope, that he can get some knights out with the double stables, and those knights will be able to clean this one up, but his eco is like an absolute junk right now. So I guess Rubenstock is gonna have to try and do some damage to Vivi. Vivi has 1 wood line to work with right now, soon to be 0 though if that tower goes up as well. Crossbows aren't able to get through the walls right now, and Yo is already rolling with the elephants. Vivi coming in with his own scouts too. It's interesting that Yo and Tim are not pushing this gold mine. They don't see the gold mine, and I wonder why they're not pushing up. Like, if they just went in here, Vilas would lose a lot of Voyagers on gold. Vilas isn't getting punished for that gold mining. And, honestly, Tim could have killed like 5 more Vills over here. Now Knights are on the way. Only +1 defense, and it's not a lot of Knights, so it's not like you want to take that fight right now. Speaking of towers, you basically have no reasonable wood income for Vivi. Like, absolutely no reasonable wood income. He's up to Castle Age, but at this point he's got no wood income, which is going to deny TCs from him, which is going to deny farms. And Tim just casually falling behind stone walls. Let's see if we have a transition to Cav Archers from Zupi. He soon will have to start thinking about that. In the meanwhile, Lix still Feudal Age. Rubenstock is also Feudal Age. Rest of the players already in a castle. So Yo's got elephants over here. Vilas is taking a significant punishment though, and I feel like that is bigger than what Vivi is suffering from. Vivi is getting some camels out. Don't ask me why it's camels, because, well, technically it could be camels because there is no archer player on the left side. The only archer player in this game is Zupi. So camels actually work well here. Free light cav upgrade could be very beneficial for Turks over here eating the spearmen. But the tower is gonna go up, and that means that right now Vivi has 0 Voyagers on wood, which means his farms are going to run out. As weird as it sounds, I feel like at some point Vilas's eco will be a little bit more efficient than Vivi's eco, if Vivi cannot get wood for himself. Because at least Vilas will have some sort of food eco for him, not an awful lot, but at least it's something. Whereas for Vivi, he's gonna run out of farms here, tries to get a castle up, that makes sense, because that takes down those towers and takes that wood line back for him. If Rubenstock manually focuses down these villagers, he might be able to stop this castle, to be honest. Because it's only 5 villas constructing, or at least kill a couple of villas. During the process, villagers also being pulled to take this tower down, which is not walled in. These guys, as we have Jordan coming in the raid. Thank you so much for the raid, Jordan. I greatly appreciate it. This is the final game in a best of 5 between Suomi and WWP. And we got a pretty bad engagement over here for Zupi getting his crossbow slaughtered. Vilas still sort of dead. So is Lix, but Lix is getting a decent number of archers up. This is something to pay attention for. Because as much damage as Rubenstock did to Lix early on, in fact, he forced Lix to delete these 2 archer ranges that were walled in. Now, Lix is up to Castle Age. And if Lix is up to Castle, he's gonna have crossbows and he can just walk into the base of Rubenstock and finish him. Add that to the fact that one of the pockets from Suomi is already half dead, and you have a pretty good scenario here for the Chinese team. And team is also holding this one. In fact, his cost efficiency is actually better because his units are a lot cheaper. Alright. So, with that, look at Lix. He's just walling his villagers in here with stone walls to make sure that no one actually touches his gold eco. This corner is mine, says Lix. And it's going to be stone walls. Rubenstock is already searching for him. He's like, what's in here? And it's going to be stone walls for now. So yeah, these crossbows could start rolling, and indeed, they will. Supported by camels, this could be very dangerous for Rubenstock, and it's not like feudal age watchtowers will necessarily stop this one. Right side, we have more and more knights coming in from Max, only +1/+1. +1/+2 is there from Mr. Yo. What else do we have? Random spearmen killing villagers, as Vivi is going to mix in some janissaries in this one, casually. And where are the crossbows at? They're going over here. They might go towards Vilas though, because Vilas is still Castle Age, and they might just think that, hey, Rubenstock is still feudal, so it's better to just go to Vilas's base and finish him off. But no, they're just gonna go for it. You can actually kill towers with Saracen crossbows like that. They can't kill enough crossbows to justify for all the villagers that are killed inside. Because now when the tower goes down, villagers are getting killed. And this is looking pretty good for China right now. Right side, it's relatively safe. Somehow Rubenstock got a tower up in here. I just want to point out Rubenstock is here. And he got a tower up here. But it seems like a cleanup from Mr. Yo. Max has 78 villagers, so does Mr. Yo. But Rubenstock is sorta dead. Vilas is like half dead. And since he doesn't have archer support, if Vivi comes in here with the camels to support his crossbows, they could just go for Vilas. That being said, there is not enough camels to support, and that could be a great engagement for Suomi. Because at this point, that's quite a lot of knights and not enough crossbows, even though they do have great upgrades in there for them. Vivi just doesn't have cavalry on the field. He is making more and more camels, understanding that Rubenstock is nowhere close to influencing the game, but they wasted a lot of crossbows by not having more camels from Vivi, I believe. Also, indeed, this is a Persian team bonus, that you deal more damage to archers with your knights, so early those crossbows just went down very easily. That being said, Eos had an untouched boom with Khmer. He's on free TCs and slowly flooding elephants, and his food income is crazy, so he could get into Imperial very soon, and now the cavalry transition actually happens from Zupi. He has to transition to CA here. That's a team bonus? I think it is. It should be a team bonus, I believe. Yes, it is. Persian team bonus, knights +2 attack against archers. The reason why you, like a lot of people don't know it's a team bonus is because it is rare to see, like, the thing is that there is just very few team game tournaments, and the only time you actually see this becoming a factor is in 4v4s. Because in 3v3s you only have one cavalry civ, 2v2 same thing, 1v1s doesn't matter because there is no teammates. So the only real scenario where this comes into play is 4v4s. That is a TC that is not gonna go up. 98%. 98%, and this is an unfinished building foundation attacked by Saracen archers. So this is gonna go down relatively fast over here. Something that Lix might even try to commit to. We got the starting eco of Lix being rampaged by knights. Vivi is trying to help with camels, but he needs a lot more camels in here. Like, he desperately needs a lot more camels. Like, there's just barely any on the field, and his flank is getting absolutely annihilated over here. Right side, some cav archers could get some Voyager kills. Imperial Age is coming in for, well, the majority of the players. No imp from Viles though, and no imp from Lix, of course, no imp from Vivi. And Castle Age is coming in for Ruben Stock. Can Suomi win this? Doubtful, I would say. The problem is that the left side has absolutely no archer support as long as Ruben Stock is dead. And look at this push. Tim, Lix, and Yo will now triple Ruben or Vilas here. And that would knock Vilas out of the game, and it would pretty much leave this a 2 versus 3 or 2 versus 4. So those crossbows will be insane at melting buildings. Elephants can just soak up the damage as well, and there is crossbow support from Tim to push this one. Vilas might be forced to engage. This is a bad move from Lix. Maybe just a misclick, but he ran into a TC fire. Max, what does he have? Max has Imperial Age and Cavalier on the way. That could save the day, and that's a lot of Cavalier. He's just waiting for one decisive engagement. Other side, more and more Cav Archers are coming in here. There is no overchop here from the Chinese team, but a lot of those woodlands are dangerously exposed, and if those Cavalier come in time, they could clean this entire thing up. Because Yo isn't up to Imp yet, so those are not elite Battle Elephants. And those Cavalier will be able to kill everything, basically. So yeah, that's a cleanup. And now, the Cavalier can move in. Knight's also here to support. The problem is that Vilas' eco is, like, dead. Lix is also at 40 Voyagers. Vivi at 90. He's fine in the pocket. So Lix has taken a significant beating. So did Ruben Stock. But I'm starting to believe that Ruben Stock's eco is actually a little bit better. And as I said, when Cavalier kicks in, these guys are all dead. Even the Arbs. Although, it's not as ideal as it could have possibly been for Suomi. But I think they can take this fight, and they have to take this fight. Because they can't allow those elephants to be upgraded to Elite Battle Elephant, which is not coming in just yet. But yeah, this is exactly what you want. You want to use the Cavalier on the archers, and you want to use the knights on the crossbows over here. This was an excellent fight. No, this is an insanely good fight for Suomi here. They're even using the hill. Some of those knights are chilling, but hill advantage, if you garrison TC, it would help even more at just trying to clean this one up, and that's a beautiful cleanup. And we got Cav Archers from Zupi. Don't tell me that he's gonna turn this around. Yo is dropping in villager count quite massively, and it doesn't matter that you have Khmer if you have 13 villagers on food, and elephants will struggle catching the Cav Archers. So yeah, theoretically you could clean it up, but Cav Archers can just keep running around and be annoying and cripple your eco. And if you don't have eco, you're gonna get overrun. This is still doable for Suomi. Imperial Age is coming in here for Vivi, so he's gonna have heavy camos on the field. We got Yo down to 97 Voyagers, Vivi's at 98, Lix is at 41, Tim at 51 only. Tim's eco is also very, very weak, and look at Zupi. Once again, I think there is an overchop here, and the Cav Archers just ran inside. He's doing this one so well, heavy Cav Archer on the way. Feitorias coming in from Tim. He kind of realizes, hey, Cav Archers can't trade my eco if it's Feitorias, but Tim is down to 46 Voyagers. He has one Feitoria going for him, but that could be a lot more dead Voyagers. And in the meanwhile, we have Cavalier from Max. Paladin actually now. So it's Paladin against Battle Elephants that do not have Elite just yet, and Elite is just coming in. So, what else do we have? Team is actually housed with 36 military and 40 villagers. I'm here. I just had to ban a spam bot. And I had to read a long message to actually determine if it's a spam bot or not. But it was a spam bot. So, it looks like Elix is gonna get, or Zupi is gonna get pushed hard here. But once again, these cav archers could be so annoying inside the eco of the Chinese players. We haven't taken a look at Ruben's stock. Ruben's stock is still not a factor right now. There is no trades anytime soon. Lix trying to boom back into the game. This is basically a 3v3 right now. So, Ruben's stock and Lix are just left here to die. Knights are on the way, and those knights would actually shatter the base of Lix, and it looks like we're gonna have a castle drop here by VV guard towers from Rubenstock. So he really wants to make sure that his opponent can't take that gold mine. Heavy Camos trying to catch up with the knights. Feitorias more and more. They can be raided, that's true, but on the other hand, they are not so population efficient, to be honest. And if you look at this fight, these CA could have, well, they already have 6 pierce armor, surrounded by paladins. Tim is like down to no military, and the only reason why he's at 120 pop is because he's Feitorias. But he's about to lose that castle, I believe. I don't think that the Chinese team can actually stop that trap, even though 8 villagers should be fine repairing it. He's got a lot of stone in the bank, but a second trap would finish that one off. Yo will try pushing Zupi's base here. Zupi isn't really caring about this one right now. And these knights have also been cleaned up. But there is already more Cavalier or Paladin from Max coming in. And the Cav Archers could just try hitting the eco. This is what Zupi is doing here very well. Just running around and just hitting the eco of the opponent. Trade is being set up by Suomi, not really by the Chinese team. In fact, we have no markets in that corner. Another TC coming in here from Vivi, and yeah, it looks like Tim is just going to be full on Feitorias for now. More and more elephants are coming from you, and that's actually very scary. But only 25, that's like almost the entire army of Mr. Yo here, and Max is indeed at 60 Paladin. So I would say that 60 Paladin can potentially beat 20 Battle Elephants. Or even if they can't beat them, they can't actually catch them. Paladins will just outrun them and run straight into the eco of Mr. Yo, and Mr. Yo's eco is going to collapse if that happens. More Paladins on the way, trying to save the guard towers over here pretty much. Because those guard towers are preventing Elix from accessing that gold mine, or anyone else accessing that gold mine really. Right side, elephants, it appears that they have cleaned up the traps. In fact, they cleaned up everything almost. So Zupi is gonna get pushed pretty hard by Mr. Yo here. We got Halberdier switch from Max. So he knows that the only force that they're really encountering here is camels and elephants. So Halberdiers here will actually work nicely. For Max, who's going to secure that hill over there, that TC isn't going up. Yo is gonna be denied at 90%, and that hill will have the castle up for Max, I believe. Another castle coming in here, but that is for Tim. Rubenstock has a random TC in the middle of nowhere, I don't know why. And it looks like Max is going for light cav. So he's not running out of gold, but it seems like he wants to do some light cav raids because of cost efficiency purposes. Stone walls for Suomi. Fun fact indeed, flaming camos for Zupi here would work very well. Because flaming camos are meant to destroy elephants. In fact, that's exactly what Zupi should be going for. A few flaming camos would destroy this entire army. As weird as it sounds like. Still, 50 wheels for Lix, 42 for Tim. This is the decider game. They're trying to snipe down that trap over there. They have 6 pierce armor, so those orbs aren't really doing much damage to them. And now Halberdiers are out there as well. We got a trade that is trying to be established, but heavy camos are raiding it for the time being. Random manganol, don't ask me why. But, well, there is a random manganol. Now, Rubenstock, he is getting a barracks up. So, we might see Rubenstock actually becoming a factor. We have Lightcap from Villas alongside Boyars. And, well, that's still a blob of death here from Mr. Yo. And I think the key thing is that Yo's eco isn't actually getting pushed. So, Yo's eco is completely untouched. If the Cav Archers would try raiding him or even the Paladin, that would be completely different, but Yo's eco is untouched right now. And those elephants are pretty devastating right now. 32 army, max is 53, but I think some of that is actual light cav. And it's really just full on Boyar. I have no idea how Boyar do against camels, honestly. They do have 9 melee armor. And this is intentional, this is not for memes. And they're eating the camels. Boyar are eating camels, interesting. In the other side, we have a deep dive indeed here from Mr. Yo. A lot of those elephants are low HP though. So this is still... I'm not 100% sure if this is gonna be worth it for Mr. Yo. Like, a lot of those elephants could die very easily here, especially with good micro from Zupi. And I feel like especially this narrow choke point fight, or just keep hitting and running, you can actually take down a lot of those elephants. And I don't think this is gonna be cost efficient for Yo, or at least not in the long run. And where did the Boyar go? I have no idea, but they're still running away from the camels. This game could be long. Like, this game could be very, very long. Now the Arbalasts are getting cleaned up by the Paladin over here, getting trapped. So I think this is a cleanup here from Suomi, and at the climax of this game we have a pause. So this is a cleanup. But right side there is more elephants. Left side, we have camels out, we have trade coming in here for China, and the difference is that China does have trade running. Suomi doesn't really have anything going for them right now. They lost all their trade. And not having access to gold is going to hurt so much. So really, the temporary shortage of gold could be the undoing of the Finnish team over here. This is a nice cleanup. But as I said, the Chinese trade right now is just much, much stronger. Let's see if Rubenstock is going to be able to contribute. His voyager count is now looking pretty decent, around... Well, in fact, he has 74 villas at this stage, and he's making Kamayuks. Rubenstock is making Kamayuks, and they're not a bad decision here. Look at those majestic beasts poking down all those camels. Fun fact, or it's kind of sell-outy fact, but this channel has a Kamayuk emote for subscribers. So, well, that castle still stands. Chinese trade is actually looking pretty decent. Suomi slowly getting that up as well. Remember that the Chinese army is actually very, very one-dimensional here. So, it's basically elephants and camels. Everything is countered by Kamayuks, Halberdiers. There is some Arbs from Tim, but not an awful lot. And Lix still isn't a factor. So, the fact that Lix doesn't have any units on the field, basically, means that the Kamayuks will get away with what they are doing over here. And Kamayuk Boyar, look at this. This is beautiful. And at this point, Vivi is trying to take that castle down, but it's more and more Kamayuks coming in here. And Vivi will be forced to defend himself, which means he cannot help on the other side. Cav Archers, heal advantage on the side of Zupi as well, let's not forget that. Over here, and we have full stone walls across the map, in fact fortified walls by Villes, and Suomi is getting his trade up as well. So I think the main concern right now for China is that Lix is still basically on no military. He's at 96 villagers, he can start adding army, and that's a beautiful surround. This could be an insanely good engagement for Suomi here. Being able to destroy all those skirms and arbs with the paladins, this is like super cost efficient. And if Tim loses that army, he might actually be, well, not him specifically, but China might be out of this one if this army goes down here. It seems some of them will survive, but not an awful lot. And if you look at the The left side now, I mean, that's a stone wall from Vivi for whatever reason. That's helping the trade running this direction, which is fine. And it looks like he's making hand cannoneer to battle the Mamelukes, which is, once again, perfectly fine. He sent all his Mamelukes to poke down this low castle over here from Tim. He might lose his own castle in the process. Slowly army numbers are rising for Lix. I wonder what he's making. But, oh, there is an overchop. There is an overchop, and Hussar from Viles will actually start running into the trade. And that will be a disaster. And here's the other problem. If the Cav Archers get into Yo's eco, it's going to be an awfully horrible situation for the Chinese team. Yo trying to revolve behind this one beautifully. But if Yo's eco starts to get pushed, he's not going to be able to keep up with the elephant numbers and he's going to get overrun. So, Cav Archers running, and this is the jackpot for Azupi here. All he needs to do is just kill the food villagers from Yo, because Yo apparently is switching into Hussar spam because he's running out of gold himself and trying to just stonewall this part of the map so that the Cav Archers can't go to a trade. Because if those Cav Archers go to a trade, this game might be over here. Hussars on the left doing some damage. Crossbows are slowly coming out for Lix, but still far away from becoming a factor in this game. And this castle still stands. In fact, we're gonna have a second castle coming up for Rubenstock. Score lead for Suomi. I think that is completely justified. Random camels and Hussars are running to the middle to try and get into the trade here, chased by Mamelukes. We even have monks converting, but those Cav Archers did quite a lot of damage to Yo's eco. Yo lost like 30 villas, and he's down to just 25 villagers on food, which is problematic because in order to be able to spam Hussar and elephants, you need an awful lot of food as well. Oh man. Oh, look at this. Vilas coming in here with those Slavic siege weapons, and we have a lot of halberdiers inside. So, I don't know how Lix is going to stop this. He's making some Mamelukes. In fact, Elite Mameluke. In this game, we have seen Mamelukes. We have seen, in fact, Elite Mamelukes. We have seen Elite Boyars, and now we are seeing Elite Mamelukes as well. So, yeah, these Mamelukes aren't really going to stop this flood of siege rams. Other side, Cav Archers getting sandwiched in between. This is an awful fight for Zupi. This is an absolutely awful fight for Zupi in here. This is exactly what you want to avoid, fighting as elephants, getting sandwiched in between a bunch of them. And it looks like Lix is trying to secure this other side. We might have some rams on the way soon. The map is pretty much stonewalled, like corner to corner stone walls are coming in here for Suomi. Max is already stonewalling this one. It's very funny that they're walling like this, but this is actually already the base of Chinese players, so I wonder where they're going to wall on the right side. Some markets are going down for a little bit more efficiency, and yeah, this is looking scary right now for Lix. Like, he can try microing away with the Mamelukes against the halberdiers, but you can't really stop the rams and like a flood of death units. Over there on the left side, this is looking like a game for Suomi. This is looking like a game for Suomi over here, because the theses are now going down, and those guys are very, very close to the trade, dangerously close to the trade, whereas Suomi's trade is now untouched. Nice Hussar raid from Mr. Yo over there. Right side, an insane amount of skirms coming in here for Tim, but Lix 21 military right now only, and his army isn't really capable of stopping this flood of halberdiers and rams. It's temporarily able to slow them down, but like you see, there is more rams on the way, and well, the way into the trade is wide open right now. Can you count the Feitorias? Sure. I think it's 4... 5. No. Yeah, it's 5. 5 Feitorias for Tim over here. So, it looks like we're gonna have some Janissaries joining in the party to deal with the Mamelukes and the Halberdier and Siege. And I would like to point out that if Suomi wins this one, this is actually a reverse sweep. So, Suomi was down 2 games, and now it seems like they're very, very close to getting a reverse sweep going in. Elephants taking the fight over here. Tatar, Cav Archers with heal bonus here are not something to underestimate. Some light Cav is over here as well. They have insane Pierce armor too, but no Hussar upgrade. And now Halberdiers are coming from Max. The Skirms will kill the Halberdiers here, so that's not really going to be enough for Suomi on this side. And there is still a lot of elephants from Mr. Yo. There is still a lot of elephants from Mr. Yo, and I like this plan from Vilas. They will not try to push here in the middle where the army is. They will try to just go to the corner and kill the trade. Just kill the markets with some rams, and that cripples the entire trade over there. Right side, Yo's army is still very, very scared. A lot of elephants soaking up the damage. Hussars trying to clean up the skirms, but I don't think this is actually enough over here from Zupi to hold this one. Lick slowly becoming a factor in this game with more and more Mamelukes, but his military numbers are still looking a little bit low. Random Kamayuks running across the entire map to try and chase down that blob of elephants. Oh, this game is beautiful as well. This game and the third game is just insane. So this was a really, really good show match, regardless of the result. Very, very entertaining games. Sometimes team games don't go this entertaining, but these were all super cool games. And with that, elephants are slowly going down, but that's a lot of elephants. But here's the catch. Max can make camels. And, well, the camels will actually be pretty decent against the elephants here. Tatar Cav archers, they will try to use the hill bonus. So you're trying to fire it down hills. Light Cav flanking around to melt the traps first. I think those are bombard towers. No, guard towers only from Tim. I guess it should be bombard tower. Like, bombard tower push to the corner to the trade would be important, because this is kind of a last stand here for Suomi protecting that castle, but that's a lot of Kamayuks, and Skirms won't really kill Kamayuks. There isn't really anything that can kill Kamayuks here. Left side, we have Mamelukes cleaning this attempt up over here, so Suomi is not getting close to pushing the middle, and that's a lot of Mamelukes now for Licks. Big fight over here. A lot of Kamayuks in the party. They can poke through everything, and Yo's elephants are going down. Yo is making more. Tatar Cav archer is also having the heal bonus. Heal helps immensely. But this is a hold from Suomi for the time being. In the middle, there is more and more Mamelukes being assembled, so Lix will start to participate. In fact, he already has a very good army number. Trade is good for both teams right now, so none of the teams is actually in danger of losing any of his trade right now. This could be a very, very long game. So, let's see. Hand cannoneers and siege rams coming in here in the middle, and Rubenstock's Kamayuks are being produced in the middle, something we didn't talk about, and those Kamayuk facilities are now going down, which means that Rubenstock is going to be left without a reliable army soon. Like, he can still do halberdiers, that's not a problem, but look at Lix. Here he comes. And Mameluke power, ladies and gentlemen. Siege rams and Mamelukes could absolutely destroy Rubenstock, and this late in the game, if this goes into a 4v3, this could be over. But guess what? Max says, you are not the only civ with elephants. Max is assembling a huge horde of war elephants. Elite war elephants, to be precise. This game has brought us elite Kamayuks, elite Mamelukes. What else? Elite Boyar and War Elephant. Like, this is gonna be the clickbait for YouTube. A game where you had Elite Boyar, Elite Mameluke, Elite Kamayuk, and Elite War Elephant at the same time. But they have to stop this castle from being destroyed, because they are dangerously close to the trade. Is China going to come back in this one? Is it going to be a comeback? It kind of starts feeling like it's going to be one. Because now, that's a lot of Mamelukes, and Mamelukes will just melt those halberdiers. Even more important, this right side is looking dangerously scary now. In fact, one market going down already hurts very heavily because it's going to disrupt the trade. And now you have the hill here for the Chinese team. Suomi still has the score lead, however, as those Mamelukes are trying to bash their way through the gates. But now it's China with the full-on assault, and not Suomi. Kamayuks coming in here once again to join the party. I think they just slaughtered a bunch of Mamelukes over here. And War Elephants versus Battle Elephants. Here it goes. Keeps now from Tim. Just secure that position. Yeah. Peak AoE. As it looks like this ultimate mess And well, war elephants are actually better than battle elephants, like by a massive margin better than battle elephants. And now that those elephants are running down hills, Tatar CA will do a lot of damage. Suomi might save this hill. Suomi is going to be able to save this hill. In the meanwhile, there is still quite a lot of Mamelukes from Leaks, but only 29 now. Onagers! Onagers could actually finish off all the Mamelukes. And they will. Now the rest of them runs into the halberdiers. In just a couple of seconds, all the Mamelukes are down. Lix is at 14 military. And now, the war elephants and the siege rams will start pushing the right side. Holy smokes. Castle is up over here. Mamelukes once again getting absolutely torn apart by that castle. And we have Siege Onager coming in here as well for Vilas. Suomi with the score lead still. They have this hill, they have war elephants, they have Tatar cavalry. And, well, players are starting to run out of wood very soon if this actually goes forward. Perfect decider game. And, really, one of the best team games I've seen for a long time in this one. So, that's 24 war elephants, in fact, elite war elephants, versus 32 battle elephants. That is insane. There were some memorable games in this show match, but this was something different. Like game number 3 being chaotic and this one being just an insane grind fast is just beautiful. And it looks like battle elephants will have to fall back. They're just getting out elephanted here, to be precise. What else do we have? We have stone walls across the entire map. Fun fact, this is actually Suomi walls, this is actually Chinese walls. So the borders aren't strictly set over here. More elephants and Kamayuks coming in. Left side, Lix is slowly counterattacking with the Kamayuk, or with the Saracens, Mamelukes and Siege Rams. So this is something to monitor as well. But slowly they are pushing Team Zico. Team Zico is mostly in the form of Feitorias, to be honest. And the rest of it is in trade. Does he even have trade? No, Team has nothing. Team is 137 population with 5 Feitorias. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a Feitoria is like 20 pop, right? So he basically has like no eco, no military. Even if Tim is slinging, that's not going to be enough here. Because now he's gonna get steamrolled. He's gonna get absolutely steamrolled here. He would normally be 30, like 40 pop. Like, if he had some trade going, I would be fine with this and sling. But the thing is that 5 Feitorias don't compensate for actually just having 35 villagers in here. Yo, dropping to 10 military, 9 military. You and Tim combined for 14 military here on the right side. And I see 47 cav archers, 9 elite war elephants, and there is another blob of war elephants coming in here. The left side might be slowly collapsing for Suomi, but it's not actually dying fast. In fact, it's a relatively slow death. We have cav archers with Sipahis and full upgrades for Vivi. By the way, yeah, there is Silk Armor now. This Silk Armor was missing from these cav archers for quite a while. Scorpions. Khmer Scorpions. Not a bad idea. Scorpions are supposed to melt the cav archers. They're actually very good against elephants as well, and they're good against Kamayuks. So Scorpions here actually make sense for Mr. Yo. But, like, Tim has to start becoming a factor, and I think that it's going to take forever for him to actually become a factor. I don't think that these Feitorias are paying off by any means. If you look at his resources, he's trying to get some halberdiers on the field, but it's kind of desperation looking, to be honest. Licks on the left side anymore, Mamelukes on the way. More Kamayuks from Rubenstock, who is intercepting quite a lot of those Mamelukes running through over here. Trade is still up for both teams, and it looks like now Vivi is gonna try sending in a bunch of camos to try and kill the trade. I think Mamelukes do a better job with that, but you could actually try getting some raiding done in the trade, and it looks like that was the plan for Vivi as well. He brought in quite a lot of cav archers, but it looks like Zupi has enough to clean this one up. So the first wave didn't kill much. Scorpions, however, could be insanely devastating. Mamelukes, I don't know how good they are against cav archers. Probably not ideal. You want to use your Mamelukes against the war elephants, but Scorpions melting the war elephants over here. The Chinese team is holding left side. Big onager push assembling over here. Oh my goodness. This game is insane. But the thing is that the Mameluke numbers are going down too fast here. The Scorpions aren't engaging and the meat shield is just going to be pretty much running out here. Just before the Scorpions will arrive. So all those Mamelukes going down might not have been good. But it looks like we're gonna have potentially monks for Tim. He doesn't have eco, but he tries to get some monks in so he can convert some war elephants. Trade-wise, we do not have any trade raids going in right now, I see. Big push on the left side. Onagers coming in here, but the majority of the onagers were killed by the Mamelukes here. If you take a look at those HPs and those rubbles. Anyways, now it's bombard towers, right? Yeah, it's bombard towers from Zupi. That's basically what you have to go for. Left side, we have a siege ram push coming in here. Mamelukes are doing an insanely good job against the Boyars and the Halberdiers, but you have to be careful when you're microing them. Fun fact, this is one of the times when the Saracen unique tech actually helps you keep your monks alive on the field, or at least not monks alive, but in terms of just getting the gold back from the lost monks, because you're using monks actively to just heal your Mamelukes. So being able to get your gold back when you lose a monk is actually, or at least some of it, is actually very helpful. It looks like camels will try to come in here. Not sure what Vivi plans to do with this, because number one, these camels are idle. Number two, they are running into Halberdiers, which is far from ideal. Right side, castle up for Tim, or at least he's trying to get up. Arbalasts on the field as well. Not a lot of things to stop those cav archers with, though. Tim is at 47 villagers, so I think Tim is now starting to add trade, or yeah, Tim just about to start adding trade, so he starts to understand that Feitorias will not really work over here. Here's how Tatar bombard towers look like. A lot of people don't know this architecture. Okay, that's a lot of elephants. Quite a lot of scorpions in the party as well. This game, 1.5 hours, and it's insane. Now the Rams are pushing those castles, and Lix needs those castles to get Mamelukes out. It's somewhat interesting to think about the fact that he doesn't have any building upgrades on those. You would want masonry, you want hoardings to make sure that those castles stay up when you are making unique units. He's definitely lacking production, and that's a problem. And that might actually end up losing the game for them. Because you see that he's floating a lot of resources, yet he's unable to keep making Mamelukes as fast as he wants to. And the Halberdier siege push is not something that the camels here were stopped. Like, Vivi's gonna need heavy CA over here on this one, but even if it's heavy CA, the Rams will just slowly knock down the castles, and Suomi knock, they were very, very close to getting to the trade here. If these castles go down, that might be game over. Mamelukes trying to get a good surround and finish off the Rams. They might be able to save these castles for the time being. Right side, castle is standing. Elephant counterattack on the way. Where did Max's elephants go? Max's elephants are heading to the left side. So they're going pretty much all in here on the left with the elephants. Not sure if that's gonna work out well, though. We have an onager cut coming in here from Vilas, who's sending Rams. Or it's actually Ruben Stock's Inca Rams, but it doesn't matter. Vilas was the one that used the siege onager to cut, and now Ruben Stock is just sending in Rams over here. Licks one villager castle on top. If these Rams just destroy the markets, all the trade is gonna be crippled for like 2 or 3 minutes. And that would be devastating for China's eco. We have some cav archers hit from Vivi, trying to clean up the trade of Suomi, but Zupi's cav archer numbers are looking much, much better. He's at 94 cav archers. Insane army for Zupi over here. And as I said, when these markets go down, that's a disaster for China. Because you will have to manually retask all of your trade cards to actually get to these markets. It looks like Lix is gonna be able to stop this ultimate disaster over here, but they lose 2 markets, which is going to make that trade a little bit inefficient. Cleanup has happened inside the Suomi base. Big fight on the right side. It's 34 war elephants, elite war elephants to be precise, versus just 30 battle elephants over here. And they will try to intercept these Rams before the castle can actually die. More bombard towers on the way, though, from Tim, so he's gonna get bombard towers for himself as well. 4 left, that's a lot of Mamelukes, but there is also heavy camos from Max. Max is playing insane here. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of elephants, and the population efficiency is there for Max. Like, those are insanely population efficient units. Very, very tanky, just slowly grind forward. And there is bombard towers. But bombard towers aren't really excelling at killing that many war elephants either. Could you put in the friend and foe colors? Well, we can actually do that, yeah. Here's how it looks like in friend and foe colors. Suomi has a much better map control, by the way. It shows over there. You got Tusk Swords? Good question. Wait a second. You never had Tusk Swords? That's an enormous mistake. You never had Tusk Swords with Khmer in a 1.5 hour long game. I saw that he didn't have a castle at the beginning, but that's now a huge mistake. I mean, it might not guarantee the win for them, but missing Tusk Swords this late in the game is actually a disaster. Mamelukes running into a trade here as these war elephants are trying to take down the castle. Onager push is on the way. Heavy camels and cav archers are arriving as well. Mamelukes will take the hill, try to take down the elephants, but the castle goes down. Bombard towers are in for Vivi to protect the trade. Oh my god, this is so chaotic. Suomi should have a clear lead now, mainly because Tim still has 11 military, and for Suomi all 4 players are contributing with army, and I don't know if Tim's Feitoria play is paying off here. I don't think he's getting an eco advantage from it, and in this late stage of the game, just having numbers is what matters, because as you see, most of the players are floating some resources. It's just a matter of who has more numbers. And those numbers are right now favoring Suomi. And really, Yo has an enormous mistake here with missing Tusk Swords. That's crazy. Kashyyyks on the way for Zupi. So he wants to take down those Scorpions with a couple of Kashyyyks. In this one, there's something in front of those Scorpions, but I can't actually tell what. Yo holding this narrow choke point with the Scorpions, but Suomi is pushing deeper and deeper. More siege rams on the way. But Mamelukes might be able to stop this one for time being. Monks could actually be used to convert the siege onagers, but they just died to one siege onager shot over here. Right side, more bombard towers coming in here for Tim. I think it's actually helpful for Tim if he loses this Feitoria on this one, because that would help him just, you know, being able to add trade that's actually reasonable instead of having Feitorias. Feitoria income isn't that great, to be honest. And, well, cav archers on the hill might be able to clean this one up. The castle is barely standing. Suomi is getting repelled from the left side, at least for the time being. The right side is slowly going down, but as I said, I think that if Tim starts adding trade instead of those Feitorias, like, he's pretty much pop-capped here. He's got 14 villagers queued up on his only TC. But if he loses the Feitorias, he can actually add trade. Faith! Not sure, like, Fate isn't going to help you, you know, just getting past. He's converting bombard towers! Tim is converting bombard towers! No way! He's converting bombard towers with all those monks. And at this point, Zupi, are those... I think those aren't intentional deletions. Right? And indeed, Tim still has faith in this game. Oh my goodness, this might be one of the best team games. And honestly, a couple of weeks ago, well, not a couple of weeks ago, but like last day of December, nearly made the top 10 games of last year, like 2020. This is a very, very good candidate for one of the top games in 2021. Yeah, I think it's heresy, because the timing of those bombard towers going down was suspiciously comparable to those monks, and that's a lot of monks. And the war elephants will not fare well against those monks. Left side, China is still holding, but another wave of rams is coming in. Bombard towers are slowing down, and Suomi is inches away from crippling this trade over here. But on the other hand, now China is counterattacking, and like, if this blob starts rolling, suddenly we could see a completely different lineup, because this corner could also be lost to Suomi. It's a question of how long can Vivi and Lix hold the left side, I believe. This is really a question of how long can they defend this side. because it seems like now they're winning the right side, but the left side is like very, very close to collapsing. I think there was a big onager shot on top of those Mamelukes, and I am not even sure if this is enough for China. It doesn't matter that you win the right side now. It's an insane hold for Yo and Tim over here, by the way. But Lix and Vivi might be overrun here on the other side. And yeah, like there is still a lot of Cav Archers here, but this might be too much to handle. We have more Mamelukes though arriving to reinforce, but Max is focusing to the left now. That's probably one of the reasons why the right side is getting overrun. And at this point, the plan for Suomi is just to delay this push as much as possible and finish off this corner. And markets will be deleted by China. They still aren't giving up. They will replace the markets here, so their trade is going to be a little bit more inefficient, but they trust their instincts. They're saying, okay, wait a second, we could actually try pushing this corner. Kashik's trying to flank these Scorpions. Talk about monks, it's 21 monks over here. Light Cav from Zupi trying to get some kills on those monks, but guess what? Scorpions will melt everything. Left side, it's holding for time being, and this castle is gonna help quite a bit, but there is no trade income right now for China. Madrasa, here it is, so you will get some of the gold back from lost monks. Let's see, still in the middle, there is no chance for China to push into the eco of Suomi, but they're getting close to taking down the right side, and this hill once again is going to be so crucial. Tatars, as we got Tigoroku, thank you so much for the resub, I greatly appreciate it. The Scorpions! The Scorpions! All the Scorpions dying to 2 onagers. That hurts so much. This is going to delay this push by potentially 5 or 6 minutes, because you need to get more Scorpions on the field to deal with the Cav Archers and the elephants. And that, I don't think that China has that much time. If this push actually gets to the corner, this would have been a relatively even game, because then both teams have lost their corner, but the left side is collapsing faster than the right side is. And that's the thing. I think that Max, Vilas and Rubenstock on the left side are actually killing the Chinese team faster than the Chinese team is doing it on the right side. And as I said, the monks alone will not really have a huge value. Yo has to help here with the elephants to tank the damage and the Scorpions. I think the problem is that Tim doesn't have an army, so Yo is gonna have to help here, which leaves a 2v3 on the left side, and that's the problem. Tim doesn't have military numbers. Tim doesn't have military numbers here, it's 3 versus 2. You got Siege from Vilas, you got Mamelukes from Rubenstock, and you got Max from Camels here as well. So, yeah, Tim, I don't like this Feitoria play. So, if he wasn't on Feitorias but was actually a reasonable trade, he would be able to field military. The problem is that 10 monks isn't a military here. And the problem is that it's not standalone military. It's not like it can fight on his own. And they need units that can fight on their own. And right now, Chinese trade is just an absolute mess, as you see. Trying to get to that market, which is a bad problem. Like, you have to delete this market because this one is already lost. You have to trade to this market now. Lix has to delete this market ASAP. Feitorias work well, but not as good as like late game trade plus actually having army. I don't think they're population efficient enough. That's the problem. Lix still trying to micro this one. Right side, onagers on the way for Vilas once again. Scorpions are back. So, and they also have 9 range over here. 9 range as well for the siege onagers of Vilas. Another huge hit on top. Left side still holding, at least to a certain extent, but many trade cards are getting killed because they're going to this market. This is supposed to be, like, this market should have been deleted a long time ago because you're just losing your trade trying to get there. Vivi is trying everything he can, but I don't see the Mameluke numbers anymore for Lix. Lix has 13 military. I think this is over. I think this is over. Right now you have Tim with 30 military, most of it is monks. He's getting style points for this game. He went to convert bombard towers and also went Feitorias, but that isn't winning the game for them. And in the meanwhile, Lix is pretty much out of military. And yeah, this is not how you want your trade to look like. They're trying to get some more stables up. Yo wants to help the other side, but as I said, as long as Tim isn't getting any reasonable army that can take a fight on his own, I don't think this is happening because Yo is gonna have to help the left side now. And more Kamayuks are coming in here. Kamayuks, they can poke down those Mamelukes pretty easily because Mamelukes only have free range, so it's not like it's easy to micro Mamelukes against Kamayuks. And more Boyars on the way. This game doesn't even know if they're playing normal or a different Arabia version. This is normal Arabia Robo, or at least according to the lobby. Lix taps out. It is over. 1 hour, 48 minutes, and a crazy decider game in this one. In fact, I think, like, look at this. Max was so tired that he actually resigned faster than the rest of the opponent. Did you see that notification? He actually resigned before the final Chinese player resigned. So Max is probably like, oh, it's over. Well, that was an experience, that's for sure. This was crazy. One of the best 4v4 team games out there, and Suomi always gets into things like this. If you remember ECL, this was crazy. We had everything. We had Elite Boyars, Elite Kamayuks, we had Feitorias, we had Janissaries, we had Elite Mamelukes, we had Elite War Elephants. The only... Yeah, Kashik as well, but like Kashik is a little bit more like, it's not that uncommon. Elite War Elephants are very uncommon. I think the only thing that you're missing is Flaming Camels. Yeah, Madrasa Resurged. Like, pretty much this was the game where so many of those technologies that barely get used actually got resurged, and so many units we have seen. 6 times unique unit, right. This was a reverse sweep, that's correct, Robo. Indeed, 2 games up for China, and Suomi comes back in, I think, a very, very good last game. 1,000 kills for Vivi. Over here, Viles killed 150 buildings. But here's the look at the eco. And honestly, Team's eco... Yeah, Team's eco was bad. 5 Feitorias. You see the eco comparisons. Lowest in food. By far the lowest in gold. And that's the problem. That this was 3v4 the whole time. If Tim just went for orbs, or even if he just has trade, slings his opponents, yes, of course he can actually make stone, but that's not enough. Like, you can actually get stone to drop bombard towers, that's true. However, that doesn't compensate for the fact that you are still 3v4. So in order to be able to make bombard towers, you actually have to secure some ground, and that was the problem. Lix got 35k sling over here. And this one, oh my goodness, that was crazy. I think if he was on 2 Feitorias and then trade, that would have been perfectly fine. So, yeah, that was a crazy game. Anyone remembers that this game actually started with an Inca wheel rush from Rubenstock? Or anyone remembers that this game had Lix losing to archer ranges in the first game? That was crazy. This was one of the best team games out there. And with that, Suomi wins this show match. One of the best team game show matches in recent memory.